Let me follow up on that last question. I thought I read something that DOD had some issues with their electronic transfer of the records.
Senator Begich, the part that I'm talking about is a different agreement that I have with DOD, where they are consolidating and pulling together all their paper medical records in order to give it to me to make a decision, full and complete, with their TRICARE and their contract medical records. I think the issue that you're talking about is IEHR, and I will defer that question to my colleague, Mr. Steph Warren.
So if I could do just a quick sidebar in terms of the different terms that are used out in the popular press. Interoperability is the movement of information back and forth. There is the movement of medical information, clinician to clinician today from DOD to VA. There's a translation that takes place. It is not all the data. It is a limited amount of data.
Electronically.
Electronically. So there is limited flow. It is not the full treatment record.
Correct.
So as a service member comes in to a VA facility, either Guard, Reserve, and now they're a veteran when they come over, we see some large percentage of data, not all of it. So that's interoperability. The announcement that came out recently dealt with the goal to get to that single, joint, common, integrated electronic health record. So one system, so you don't have to worry about translation.
Right.
It supports that goal of that virtual lifetime electronic record.
Right.
So when that citizen raises their hand like I did coming into service, the data gathered from there forward is part of the benefits determination for compensation.
Right.
So that larger issue. We are committed, the VA is committed to that single integrated electronic health record.
I get the VA is, and I want to, it's the DOD, and I guess, Mr. Chairman, one thing that would be unusual, but maybe we should have here, is DOD sitting here, because I was on Armed Services Committee for 4 years, and they still can't do an audit of DOD. Okay, it's one federal agency that can't get their act together when it comes to figuring out how to audit what they do over there. So I understand that you have an agreement, but I've been here now 4 years, claims, and I saw a scathing report, which of course Alaska was highlighted in there, of delays in disability claims. It's the #1 issue I get in my office is the lack or inability to get these records and determine disability claims. And on top of that, it's this ability to get the records from DOD over, and you're putting a lot of faith in DOD that still can't even do an audit of their own functions as the only agency in the federal government. So can you actually say right here, you've said it a couple times, I want to hear you say it again, that at the end of 2013, because that's what I heard you say, we will be moving electronically the full records from DOD over to the VA, so I don't have to spend time with my staff on a regular basis calling up DOD saying, what the hell, where's the information, and then VA, why don't you have it yet?
So, Senator Begich, what I will tell you...
It's a very simple question.
And
it's
yes
or no.
The very simple
yes
answer is I will have images from the record. He will not have data yet in the data part of the system.
How are you going to get to that point? I mean, getting the images. First off, I was somewhat surprised, and I thought the answer that DOD's now is just kind of shipping over boxes of material. I'm simplifying it, but it's paper material, right?
It is largely.
So now you have a contractor that's scanning all this stuff, which I have questions on that, on its ability, how fast it's moving, the efficiency, your own ability to audit that. But then you just got a pile of images. I can scan stuff all the time and get a pile of images. How you interpret them to determine the outcome for that individual who's trying to get a claim.
So, Senator Begich, great question. I'll tell you how we did it. We used to take a stack of papers this big with people with little rubber fingertips on their fingers and their eyeballs and trying to remember their rules in their head, and that's what we asked our employees to do, our hard-working employees to do, 52% veterans themselves. Today, in VBMS, they don't deal with the paper, their rubber fingertips are gone, they don't have to remember all the rules, they're built into the system. The images come through. They can Google-like search throughout this documents to find that information, and that is what VBMS does for us.
Right, on new claims.
On all claims coming in the door today, whether they are a Vietnam veteran, a World War II veteran, or whether they are today's GWAT veteran.
Do you have data that shows the difference between the process time, the results, and the efficiency between the ones that are now coming in versus the almost 1 million sitting in the backlog?
Senator Begich, I will have it. I have just put
when will you have it?
20 ROs on it on the 28th of January on the, what I consider for the first time, the portal to decision process.
Right, when will you have that?
I'm measuring it all the time, so as soon as I have a valid enough sample to give you, I will give it to you.
Okay, then I want to go back to Senator Burr's question. It seemed like such a simple one. You obviously do monthly matrix of some sort. Sounds like even weekly with now some of the data you get on earned income. But can you just answer that question very simply? That you will provide, not, I heard your answer. It was kind of the stock answer that, you know, data that we request will provide. The matrix that you have, because I know every agency, as a former mayor, every agency in my department that I operated and managed had dashboards that gave data and weekly, daily, and monthly on the accessibility. Can I echo what Senator Burr asked, and is will you provide that data on a monthly basis so we understand the success or failure? Because honestly, when I look at the numbers, 4 years later, it's, for my time here, it's not getting better. And I can tell you the increase in calls that I get in my office are not going down. So answer yes to Mr. Burr's question or no. I don't want the stock answer that I know you all get because OMB does sanitation to all your commentary. I just want to know the real simple answer. Yes or no?
Senator Begich, I will provide information to you.
Yes.
I will provide information to you, yes.
There we go. Okay, Mr. Burr, we maybe got halfway there, 3/4 away. I will in there, I have some more specifically in the last comment, Mr. Chairman, thank you for, the VSOs do so much good work, and it almost seems like they do all this work, and then VA duplicates the work, and it seems like we should figure out some partnership where VSOs can help us move some of these claims because they do a lot of work on the front end that they have about an 80% hit rate. That's not a bad success rate based on the history here. I'll leave it at that maybe for the record, Mr. Chairman, if that's okay.
Chairman, may I answer that question?
Briefly.
Senator Begich, we have a very deep relationship with our VSOs, getting stronger every day. They are on BBMS with us. They are inside the fence line now more than they've ever been before, and I am working very closely with them, and I'm very thrilled with their willingness to do fully developed claims, which in fact will help exactly the issue that you're discussing.